Hi, my name is Mitch Gitelman, and I'm the studio head of Harebrained Schemes.
Mitch, what are you showing here at E3 with Necropolis?
We are showing Necropolis here at E3. It's a diabolical dungeon delve.
So, for people who don't know what Necropolis is, explain what it is and what the gameplay's like.
Sure. Internally, what we say is, what would happen if Dark Souls and Spelunky got together and had a baby, and then that baby tried to kill you over and over and over again? So it's a cross between a 3D action timing-based game and a roguelike. So it's a perma-death game, and you go down, you're trying to get further and further down the Necropolis, fighting harder and harder monsters and getting better and better treasure.
So the game is procedurally generated, so every time you go down the dungeon, it's a different experience. Is there a max level you can go down to?
There is a max level. You can actually win this game.
So talk about like the avatar and the items you have in the game. I saw magic weapons, I saw shields, swords.
Yeah, well, we have, if you think of it, we have right-handed things and left-handed things. So in your right hand, you can carry weapons. You can carry two weapons and trade off between them. I like to carry a nice big, like, heavy hammer and whack the hell out of enemies and knock them back. But I also like to have the fast, light swords, often with lightning on them and stuff, so I'm doing a lot of damage per second. Then in my left hand, I could be carrying a shield, I could be carrying a magic wand, I could be carrying a crossbow, so I can get ranged attacks in the other hand.
So talk about you said different type of weapons, and there's energy, there's electricity weapons, there's magical weapons.
Yeah, there's cats and dogs living together. It's complete anarchy down there. So, there's all sorts of different special effects on the weapons. Don't want to tell you too much about them. There's also a crafting system in the game, too. So every enemy that you face in the game will drop some sort of crafting element that you could then put together to make yourself more food, or perhaps craft a magic potion, that kind of thing. So there's a lot to do in the dungeon.
What was it like working in Unity to create your game?
Unity is a great platform for getting up nice and fast. There was a learning curve for us to get Unity working right with the Xbox and the PlayStation. We developed it originally for PC, but we're learning what we need to learn and getting it done.
So what are some of the enemy types you'll face in Necropolis?
There are a metric ton of enemies in the game. So you might fight, for example, this giant headless enemy that's really slow, right, because he can't see you, and he just sort of stumbles around looking for you, but he's got these massive area effect attacks. And then later on, you meet that same enemy, except he has a head this time, and you should be afraid. But there are skeletons in their game. There are skeleton spiders in the game. I don't want to give too much away, but it randomizes each time you play, so you never know exactly what you're going to get.
Now, do you see you have a health bar and a stamina bar, but it's a little different in your game?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that stamina bar is key to gameplay of Necropolis. So everything you do in the game, every action you take, requires stamina. Some of the things that you do, like this power-up attack, where you hold down your attack button and your sword or your weapon will light up, and you can do this magical, huge flurry and also get an area effect attack on the enemy. That will permanently reduce your stamina, which means you can do less attacks over time, so you have to eat in order to replenish your stamina. One other thing about Necropolis is it's a roguelite, meaning it has some persistent elements too. So a lot of times in the game, it's a perma-death game, and if you die, you lose all your equipment and you start over. However, you're doing these services for this character called the Brazen Head, who runs the dungeon. And if you do these services for him, he'll reward you with things called tokens of favor. And with tokens of favor, you can buy magical codexes that give you really interesting powers. And those powers stay forever. Even if you die, you still have that magical power.
So you can make a library of codexes and keep playing the game to mix it up with different abilities.
That's exactly right. You can get that library of codexes, and then you can choose on each level of the dungeon to choose to swap them out for a different one and get a different effect.
Now, can you equip more than one at a time?
Only one at a time. That's part of the fun. You have to make a choice.
So can you give some examples of what some of the codex abilities are?
One of my favorite codexes that I use a lot, I can't remember its name off the top of my head, but it allows me to super jump, which is incredibly valuable. So, I remember I was going through a swamp. Spoiler alert, there's a swamp inside the pyramid, right? I'm going along, and I just got a swarm of enemies, and I got overwhelmed, and I super jumped back, and I happened to land on this platform. It was just the perfect timing, like a rock outcropping. And from there, right, I cast a spell, right, on myself called Stone Skin, and then I crafted a bomb and threw a magical grenade at the enemy, and once I softened them up, then I jumped down again. So that's a great example of sort of an emergent gameplay that happens in the game.
So the game really lets you play how you want to play.
Oh yeah, it's not about us, it's all about you. And you can't cheat in this game. Everything's if it's in there, you can do it. So like there's this, I can't remember exactly what this codec's called, but it gives you the feather fall ability. So the idea is you can jump off of a platform. There are interiors and exteriors in Necropolis. You could jump off a platform from level 2 to level 3 if you want, and then without taking any damage. The problem there is now you're on level 3 fighting level 3 monsters with level 2 weapons. Up to you.
So talk about the type of multiplayer in the game.
Yeah, so we have co-op multiplayer in the game for up to 4 players. And one of the cool things about co-op is that we scale the game based on how many players are in it, scale the difficulty. But there's also friendly fire on in the game. So you might run up against a couple of enemies, let your friend take them down, take a couple of hits, and then as your friend is about to go for the treasure chest, you can knock your friend out of the way and take it for yourself. Depends on what kind of friends you have, but it's possible.
So the loot is not shared among the group, it's whoever picks it up gets it?
Basically, yeah, we do have, for the gems, we do have a way of distributing gems amongst people, but when it comes to like this great sword, no, one person gets it. Beyond that, co-op is drop in, drop out, right? So I could be on level 3 and you're going, I'm going to jump in, and you jump in, you've got level 1 weapons and armor and stuff, but if I can protect you for a while until you pick up some decent loot, it's a completely valid way of playing.
So since there's no level system to speak of for your avatar in the game, is it just based weapons you pick up make you more powerful?
That's right, but there's also the spells and stuff and the different loot, but beyond that we have these blessings in the game. There are these fountains, and if you drink from a fountain after paying the right amount of gems to it, that will increase the size of your health bar, increase the size of your stamina bar. I wouldn't think of it as leveling up, so to speak, but it does help you out.
So when does this game come out and what platforms will it be on?
So this game comes out on PC and on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, and it's coming out later this summer.